Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and let me first apologize for having kept you waiting. I do realize that this time is the time of Ramadan and you have constraints, so I apologize for keeping you waiting. So what I wanted to tell you at the end of 2 days of many meetings, both with officials from the government and with personalities from the opposition, with various leaders. What I wanted to tell you is that the United Nations, UNSMIS in particular, under the new leadership of Lieutenant General Guy and people also he brought with him, are committed to implement the mandate of the Security Council. As you know, it is a short mandate. It is a mandate which will have to be re-examined just after the mid-August, and it is not for me to prejudge the decision of the Security Council. But let me tell you that as of today, and contrary to what maybe some of you have been thinking and writing, the United Nations is in no way packing and going as of today. What we have done, and that had been decided for some time, after the decision to suspend the activities of the monitors, the military monitors of UNSMIS, in view of all the constraints, especially security constraints, then of course we found ourselves with too many people, with not enough to do. What we have done, therefore, was to send back home temporarily about 1/2 of the observers, and that process was finished yesterday with the last 2 observers of that batch returning home, but returning home temporarily, because should the circumstances change, and that is our sincere hope, then all these people will be recalled to duty. Now, duty to do what? I think the goals of the United Nations remain twofold. First, to contribute to a cessation of violence, and that indeed has been my call to all my interlocutors, that everything should be done to reduce and put an end to the violence, and that includes, of course, the use of heavy weapons by official forces. That is a constant message, and that will remain a major objective. At the same time, everything should be a contribution to the political process. And the political process, for the time being, there is one. That is a 6-point plan of the Joint Special Envoy, Kofi Annan. And as you know, as has been said time and again, there is no plan B. There is no alternative to that. So one has to continue working to that, and that will also be one of the missions of UNSMIS, to contribute in many ways, at many levels, to facilitate the resumption of dialogue, especially in specific local circumstances. Maybe a bottom-up approach can help. It is a matter of circumstances. It is a matter of listening to all and of finding the opportunities to contribute. That is our goal, and that is what the General and his team will be working, and what we in headquarters in New York will also be trying to help towards. So this is what I wanted to tell you. I have to say that what one hears, what one sees, the very high levels of violence, not so long ago here in Damascus, today in Aleppo, in Deir ez-Zor, in Homs, that is indeed something of great concern. And we must, let me say again, we will try our best to contribute towards finding the solutions, but that, of course, the solutions, especially the political solution, must exist in a framework, in a process that will be Syrian-owned and Syrian-led. Thank you very much. Now we may take a few questions.
Yeah, we'll take 3 questions.
Monsieur Ladsous,
AFP.
il y a des rumeurs sur l'envoi de 40 000 casques bleus en Syrie. Et puis, est-ce que vous pouvez nous résumer les 2 derniers jours?
Je vous réponds en français? Bon? Allez. Well, I'll repeat in English afterwards. Hein? Bon, les 40 000 casques bleus, je ne sais pas d'où ça sort. Hein? On a sorti des chiffres de 10 000, de 12 000, davantage. Je crois que le Conseil de sécurité n'est pas saisi de propositions qui vont dans ce sens. Maintenant que certains pays y sont, je le souhaite, l'appel de leur vœu, c'est certainement une possibilité. Mais en tout cas, moi, je ne suis pas saisi d'un tel scénario. Sur le contenu de ces 2 jours, je vous ai donné quelques indications. J'ai rencontré des officiels du gouvernement, j'ai rencontré des personnalités de la société civile, de l'opposition. J'ai rencontré aussi nos personnels qui, souvent depuis plusieurs mois, vivent et travaillent dans des conditions extrêmement difficiles et qui ont besoin d'être écoutés, qui ont besoin de dialoguer. The first question was about a rumor, apparently, of some 40,000 blue helmets possibly being considered or decided upon. I can only say that I am not aware at my level, as far as I'm concerned, of such a proposal. Anyway, any decision on such an eventuality would be for the Security Council first and foremost to decide. As to my activities over the last 2 days, well, I said again that I've been meeting with various personalities in government, in the civil society, and also with our people, because they have been working under incredibly difficult and complicated circumstances, and we need to listen to them, to commend also their contribution, because one should not forget that UNSMIS, in the first part of its mission, did achieve some results. Never forget that. Never forget that in the second phase, however, the conditions became so complicated, so difficult, so heavy in terms of security that we had no choice but to suspend that activity.
There have been some rumors that the salaries of the joint observers have been increased. I mean, why is that? Does it have something to do with the fact that, I don't know, that the mission is not going to continue on you or something? Also, I have another question. You always say that Muslims is committed to the Syrian people and the Syrian crisis. Also, the Syrian government also said that they are committed to the 6-1 plan. I mean, what is the problem that's making it so difficult to find a solution for this crisis in Syria?
Well, let me take the second question first. I think you have been witnesses to what was happening, that indeed there has been an increase, very substantial, very fast, in the level of recourse to armed violence. And so that is the reality, and that is that spiral that we have to try and stop, a spiral in which every day we see Syrians killing Syrians. This is the concern. Now, on the first question, let me just say that there has been no decrease, there is no political signal in the level of what is actually a daily allowance for daily subsistence for our military observers. We are bound by rules which are set by the membership of the United Nations, that is to say the General Assembly. We did all we could within that framework, and don't forget that military observers are also paid. This is only for subsistence allowance.
Sir, are you expecting that the level of violence will increase? And my second question is, are you in contact with the opposition as well as you are in contact with
I did say that I had contacts with the civil society and with opposition representatives. As to the violence, what can one say? Certainly that I hope for it, Unfortunately, as of today, I cannot say that we see many indications that this is going to happen overnight, but this has to remain our objective. I say again, Syrians killing Syrians, that is not something that should continue.
Thank you very much.
Oh. Good night.